make 5 more swizzles. What's up, home bartenders? So in a recent video, I made the 5 swizzle cocktails found in Smuggler's Cove cocktail book, but I wanted more. All right, so grab your swizzle stick or your bar spoon and let's make 5 more swizzle cocktails. Let's do it.
All right, the Apres Ski Swizzle. This is the After Ski Swizzle. We're gonna start with 1.5 ounces of aged rum. It's specifically called for Barbados rum. I'm using Mount Gay, but use whatever gold rum, aged rum you have. After that, 3/4 ounce of green chartreuse. This one's gonna be kind of similar to the chartreuse swizzle from the last video, but it's got some rum in it. After that, we want pineapple juice. 1 ounce pineapple juice and green chartreuse go super well together. After that, 1/2 ounce of orgeat syrup, almond syrup. Check out my video on how to make your own syrups. There we go. And then we need our citrus here in the form of 1/2 ounce of lime juice. All right, get that crushed ice in there, and then we will swizzle away until everything is nice and combined and it starts to frost on the outside. Garnish with a lime and pineapple frond.
The Apres Ski Swizzle. This one's actually advertised as a winter tiki drink. Oh, that's nice. I mean, we know from the previous video, from the chartreuse swizzle, that chartreuse and pineapple juice just go so well together. This one here just adds a bit of rum to the base instead of going full chartreuse. We've got a little bit of rum. The orgeat adds a nice sweet nuttiness to it. It's a little on the sweeter side, although that chartreuse does give it a bite, but a little on the sweeter side, but still a fantastic swizzle. I hope you give this one a try. Let's move on.
Okay, next one here, the Coffey Park Swizzle. Starting off with 1 ounce of rum. It's specifically called for a Baldwin rum, but if you don't have that, whatever golden rum you got will work just fine. After that, we want an Amontillado sherry. If you want to check out my video on sherries, you'll know that any dry sherry here will do fine. If you have Oloroso, if you have Fino, it'll be fine. After that, 1/4 ounce of falernum. I make my homemade falernum, so check out that video as well. And then we have ginger syrup, homemade also. I make a lot of homemade stuff here on the channel. So we got our ginger syrup, 3/4 ounce. Lime juice, of course. We have to give this some citrus. And that's gonna be the base of this one here. We're gonna give it that crushed ice, swizzle away. And then we're gonna top it with more crushed ice. And this one here is going to get an Angostura float. So just grab that Angostura, dash away until you have a nice red layer on the top. And we're gonna garnish with some mint.
The Coffey Park Swizzle. Obviously a derivative of the Queen's Park Swizzle. This one's less mint though, just mint in the garnish, but it still has that nice little Angostura float. But we got rum, we've got sherry, we've got falernum, and ginger liqueur. Ginger syrup. Oh, that ginger really present. You got a bit of the fruitiness from the sherry, even though it's a dry sherry. It's coming through. This is nice. Bitterness, that ango on the nose, and it is starting to trickle down. But definitely that ginger is really, without making everything sweet, it's just adding this layer of like a ginger spiciness to everything. This is really nice. Oh, I like this one. Moving on.
All right, the green swizzle, even though it doesn't look green. Starting with 1 ounce of a white rum using Angostura here, but any white rum you have. After that, we want an overproofed white rum. I'm gonna use Wray & Nephew. There it is, 1/2 ounce of overproof. After that, we want absinthe. Now I'm doing a 1/4 ounce. The recipe actually said a 1/6 of an ounce, but I don't have a jigger that does that. I'm thinking this is gonna be too much, but that's what I decided to go with. If you can do a 1/6 of an ounce, go for it. 1/2 ounce of our homemade falernum. And then another 1/4 ounce of peppermint schnapps. I believe this also was a 1/4 ounce, sorry, 1/6 of an ounce, but we're gonna do a 1/4. All right, get that citrus in there, 1/2 ounce of lime, crushed ice, and by now you know the drill. Swizzle, swizzle. There we go. We're gonna add some more ice on top, and this one is also gonna get that signature Angostura float. And garnish also with mint.
The green swizzle. So in this one, I'm really looking forward to this one. Lots of weird flavors. We've got overproof rum. We've got Ray Nephew, which has a nice kind of funkiness to it. We've got absinthe, which I'm not a huge fan of that licorice flavor, but sometimes in small doses, it works really well. There's peppermint schnapps in here, which, I mean, mint in a swizzle works great, so who knows? Let's try it out. So unfortunately for me, that the absinthe kind of takes over in this one. I mean, there's other interesting flavors going on there, but they're kind of just buried under this layer of licorice. Maybe I should have just went with like a bar spoon instead of a 1/4 ounce. The recipe technically the recipe on Difference Guide did say 1/6 of an ounce. I just don't have that measurement, so I went with a 1/4. Probably was too much. It's not terrible, but a little too much licorice. Moving on.
The Maracuya Mistress. This one's quite different. We're starting with 2 ounces of rum agricole. This is an unaged, really grassy, earthy rum agricole. You could even use cachaça here because it's really similar. After that, 3/4 ounce of passion fruit juice. And then we want a hibiscus syrup. I don't have hibiscus syrup, but I do have my fashionola syrup, which has hibiscus in it, along with other fruits, so that's what I'm gonna use. And then 1/2 ounce of lime. But if you got straight hibiscus, that's what you should be using. I don't think it's gonna ruin the drink. All right, swizzle, swizzle. And there's a bunch of different ways you can garnish this one. I have a dehydrated blood orange wheel, and that's what I'm gonna do.
So here, this is probably the simplest one, only 4 ingredients. So we've got the rum agricole, which if we know from the last video, it's gonna add a wonderful flavor, wonderful earthy, grassy notes. And then we have the passion fruit, lime juice, of course, and then hibiscus syrup, which I used my fashionola syrup. It does have some hibiscus in it, but there's also a bunch of other fruits and stuff. So hopefully it does it justice. That's funky, very funky. So obviously up front is the agricole, the rum agricole, grassy, earthy, very funky. But then you do get the passion fruit, that nice tart fruit comes afterwards, and then the hibiscus, nice floral notes. I'm getting some strawberry in it because I use fashionola. So you wouldn't get that if you use just hibiscus syrup. And you would get probably the hibiscus would be a lot more potent, but it's still coming through. This is fun. This is nice. Last one.
Okay, the Sea of Confusion. This one's got the most ingredients. Very tiki, very strange. So we're starting with 1 ounce of the world's best rum, Jamaican pot still, Smith & Cross. Follow that up with 1/2 ounce of pear brandy. I'm using a pear eau de vie, so that's an unaged brandy. It's from a local distillery here in Ontario, Spy Distillery. After that, we want 1/4 ounce of yellow chartreuse. Follow that up with 1/4 ounce of Zucca Rabarbaro. So that is a rhubarb-based Amaro. So any Rabarbaro will do fine. Any Amaro, probably. And then 3/4 ounce of passion fruit syrup this time, not the juice, the syrup in this one. After that, our citrus, we're actually using lemon juice in this one, not lime juice. All right, let's give it the crushed ice. Swizzle, swizzle. Okay, we're gonna top it off with crushed ice. And this guy is gonna get a topper of 151 dark rum. So that is a Lemon Heart 151, as well as an Angostura float. So this one's just going to town on the top there.
The Sea of Confusion. This is what I'm most interested in, mainly because Smith & Cross is in there. So I'm thinking I'm going to pick up Smith & Cross right away because it's such a powerful rum, and it's my favorite rum. And there's a full ounce of it. But after that, there's some really weird, fun ingredients. We've got yellow chartreuse, we've got Zucca Rabarbaro, which is my favorite tomorrow. Only a 1/4 ounce, but it is a strong flavor. Hopefully it can stand up to the Smith & Cross. I mean, it's delicious because it's Smith & Cross up front. It did call for a Jamaican pot still rum, so Smith & Cross is accurate. Now we've got the 151, and the Angostura, which is working its way down, and it is adding a nice bitterness and a nice bite. The pear brandy, I mean, because we've got Smith & Cross in there, pear brandy is kind of lost. I am picking on the back end. We've got that Smith & Cross funk kind of lingers, but I do pick up the yellow chartreuse and a little bit of the Zucca. I mean, they're up against Smith & Cross, which is a powerful rum to begin with, but they are strong enough flavors that they are coming through. The pear brandy is completely lost. Honestly, I would just leave that one out unless you have a stronger. I use an eau de vie, maybe it's not strong enough. Still really good though. All right, guys, it's rating time. This is a hard one. They were all interesting in their own ways. I think number 1, I'm gonna give it to the Coffey Park Swizzle. I did not expect the ginger syrup. That spicy just kind of gives everything a really nice base layer for all the other flavors. In second place, I think I'm gonna give it to the Apres Ski Swizzle. It's very similar to the Chartreuse Swizzle from the previous video, but that rum, it just kind of fills in the gaps. It's not too strong with the Chartreuse. And the Orgeat does a little nice something. In third place, gonna give it to the Sea of Confusion. I mean, if it was any other rum, I'd be a little more disappointed because it's kind of overpowering the other flavors, but it's Smith & Cross, so it's fantastic. I just can't say anything bad about it. In fourth place, gonna give it to the Maracuya Mistress. It's kind of simplistic, but I mean, that agricole is just so good that the other flavors complement it, but it's kind of basic. And in last place, the green Swizzle. If you like licorice, if you like absinthe, you might like that one. I think it's too potent. However, again, I did use more than the recipe is. I just don't have a jigger that has the 1/6 measurement. So, all right, guys, we made 5 swizzles last week in the last video from Smuggler's Cove. Fantastic book. Make sure you check it out. And today we made 5 other swizzle cocktails from the internet, from wherever I could find them. Do you have other swizzle cocktails? We've made 10 so far. Are there any swizzles that I haven't tried that I should try? Put them in the comment down below. It would be great to make another 5. If I could do like a part 3 swizzle series with 5 more swizzles, I would love to do that for you guys. So comment down below. I want some more swizzle recipes. All right, we'll see you next time. Cheers.